Hello everyone, and welcome back to Figure Review. In this episode, we're taking a look at DC Collectibles' Batman the Animated Series Batman action figure. Now this was highly anticipated by me, because I love Batman, and I love Batman the Animated Series. So I couldn't wait for this figure to come out. I still have the original Kenner figures, but it was really cool to get a highly articulated version of this awesome Batman. Let's take a look. As you guys can see, pretty much perfectly matches the cartoon. Great work by DC to hide the joints as best they possibly could. I mean, from a distance, it just looks great. A great sculpt of the face. Really, the only nitpick I have on the face is the mouth is kind of hard to see because I didn't paint a black line where the lips meet, which I understand is, that's touchy area. It might look too crappy if you do that. So I kind of get why they didn't do it, but maybe they could have made the lips a little more deeply sculpted so they stood out a little more. But that is a very, very small nitpick. As you guys can see, it just looks great. I love the bat symbol on the chest. That is just perfect. That's my favorite Batman logo anyway. And just to see a nice version of that is just incredible. Great work here. The cape comes up over his shoulders. That looks awesome. His yellow utility belt. Of course, he's got the black gloves with the gauntlets on there. I have him with the grapnel hand right now. This figure comes with 6 different hands, so that's a great value there. A lot of accessories with this figure. As you can see, he can go out to the sides and front and back. Kinda skimped on the distance. He can kick forward, but that's okay. Got the regular knee joint, a little stiff, but that's okay. Really, I don't want to say unnecessary ankle movement, because I guess for the more dynamic poses, but I just worry that's something else that could break. But yeah, forward and backwards, very pointy feet, be careful with those. Arm movement is not tremendous. He does have lots of articulation, but it's kind of tight. Cape is a nice soft plastic. Blue on the inside, very cool. Not a ton of detail on the back, but that's kind of the way the animation was. I will say he does have kind of a hard time standing on his own. We'll get to the base in just a second here, but as you can see, you can strike a hell of a dynamic pose with this figure, but actually getting him to stand is a little difficult, as you can see. By God, King. No, we're not doing that today. Which brings us to the stand. Batman, you can just chill. The stand has a very cool, got the animation turnaround. The animators use this so they know how to draw Batman consistently. Obviously, there'd be more poses for the actual animation crew, but the fact that this is the base, I feel is a very, very cool thing, a little peek behind the scenes of Batman the Animated Series. And as you guys saw, especially if you want to do some big fancy poses, this base definitely helps. Now, the other accessories were, aside from the 6 interchangeable hands, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hands, pardon me, 7 different hands for this Batman. And the other accessories were a separate grapnel for an open hand, and of course, it's not a Batman action figure if it doesn't come with a Batarang. But the hands were Batarang hands and 2 different open hands to hold the grapnel. I feel like you guys don't really need to see those. Just imagine this hand without the grapnel in it. But a very, very awesome piece. I believe these retail for $25 to $26. That's a little disgusting for someone who grew up through the 80s and 90s, but that's how it is these days, I guess. But for an awesome figure of this quality, it's not too bad. If you're going to buy a complete series of these guys, that sucks, because that's a lot of money. But if you're only going to buy one or two here or there, it's not too bad. Now, I thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more DC heroes as I jump into the DC Multiverse Batman vs. Superman action figures. Catch you later, guys.